I'm Rob Lachenauer. I'm CEO of GEO2 Technologies.
My name is Bilal Zuberi. I'm one of the co-founders and the Vice President of Product Development.
About a year ago, we decided that our technology was ready to go live.
It was time for us to come out and now tell the people who we are, what our applications are, and what our business proposition is.
We had been working with a PR agency who, frankly, didn't get us. They didn't understand our technology or who we were trying to reach.
We're a clean tech company trying to sell into the automotive OEMs. In that business, you really need to gain a lot of credibility before somebody will give you the voice to listen to them.
What we needed first from Greenough was a way to talk about ourselves to the outside. When you're in a company, you have all your own little phrases that mean things to you, but when outsiders hear them, they don't know what you're talking about. Greenough functions as a translator.
Right from the get-go, Greenough provided us with the techniques that are useful in delivering our message in simple terms to a business audience. So we were able to deliver a complex technical sell into a business audience.
In any kind of marketing, one of your first decisions is who's your audience, right? We knew that pretty well, and once we made that clear to Greenough, everything fell in place. We had our message that we'd worked with them, now we had our target for that message, and then they helped us a whole lot in figuring out what the right channels were to get that.
We've also worked very closely with Greenough Associates in trying several different ways of marketing our material to the outside world, all the way ranging from talking about blogs and newspapers and magazines to actually writing opinion editorials for newspapers and providing expert opinion on other stories that are being covered.
We got our name out so much that one of our major targets, I would say one of the top 5 people we were trying to reach, was on the phone with us a couple months ago, and he said, "Who's your PR agency? I read all about you everywhere."
I was talking to a very senior executive at one of the most well-known engine companies in the world, and as I was discussing about our technology and whatnot, he suddenly said, "Wait a second, were you the guys who wrote that article in Boston Globe?" And I said, "Well, yes." And how do you know about this? "Well, actually, it was on this mailing list that I'm on, and that mailing list, now I learn, has basically every chief engineer of every major OEM on it." Now that's a major accomplishment for GEO2, and of course I was very proud to claim it all as my own. But not really. I mean, it was really Greenough team that initiated that idea, came up with the concept, worked with me on drafting an article that appealed to the mass audience on a topic that was very relevant, and at the same time put in a plug-in for our own technology and what work we were doing to make that possible.
They worked with our engineers who would go really deep on the technology, and they would bring it back and say, "Yeah, but is that any different?" And they had all of these, Greenough had all of these different techniques for enabling us to talk to the outside world.
Our technology is an extremely complex technology. We're talking materials, we're talking chemistry, we're talking ceramics, we're talking clean technologies, we're talking energy consumption, fuel economy, and all the policy regulatory affairs around it. This is a very complex sell, and understanding it is difficult even for the insiders of the business. Once they got it, they were able to translate it out to the outside world in a very effective manner. In some conference calls that I've been on with journalists, the Greenough people have been able to deliver a better message of what I'm about to say than myself later on.
And I can say without a doubt that our message is out there with the right people because of what Greenough's done with us.
To do that, in some ways, the team at Greenough had to integrate with our own team. Almost identical to the way my engineering team works, was very essential in crafting a message that could be delivered through various different channels.
The word that comes to mind for me when I think of the Greenough people is tenacity. They are an advocate for our business as much as any one of us is an advocate for our business. They've sunk their teeth into our technology and our business. They know how they're trying to represent us to the outside world, and they go do it.